Blue Lock episode Nagi just released their final chapter and it is 72 pages long, with this and this being the cover page of all the characters that we know and love from Blue Lock. So without wasting any of your time, let's talk about it. So the chapter starts with both Nagi and Ryo's ego in the form of a skull, asking what does it mean to be a genius? An entity that cannot possibly be a genius is only when someone discovers that outline, as we see Nagi in a silhouette. Only to find out that that was ego saying the entire thing as he looks at everything that's happened in Blue Lock, with him saying, but that's merely the outline of the truth, finding comfort in what can be discovered. When the act of polishing an inner ego comes to a halt, the genius loses its luster, hinting to certain somebody that we know of, but not directly saying it. With Henri chiming in saying, are you referring to Seshiro Nagi, Mr. Ego? No way, I'm talking about Nagi and Ryo. With Henri saying, I found them and invited them to Blue Prison, or Blue Lock in this case. The world's greatest egoist. I truly believe these two are raw gems that align with that vision. To the grand stage of the world, please guide us skillfully, Commander. With Ego saying, more than that, isn't there something else you should be worried about? With Henri just getting pissed off at him, as we see Ego and Henri looking at somebody through the screen running through Blue Lock. That individual somehow turning out to be Bachira with money with no clothes on except underwear, being chased by both Kyoto and Bado. Again, I shall state this once more. What in the hell is Blue Lock even about? As we cut to Bachira running through Blue Lock, he gets cut off by Zantetsu and Nico. With Nico continuing saying, please give us back our cards. With Zantetsu saying it's Ayanakoji, or something along those lines, you know. With Bachira responding, if you're gonna say that, it's a dead end. As he literally flips over Zantetsu and flies past Nico, as Zantetsu falls to the ground as well as Nico. With Bachira saying, is it over? Let's play tag some more, Ego stars. With Bachira being stopped in his tracks saying, huh, as it is a dead end. With Ryo showing up saying, what are you guys up to? With Bachira saying, oh, it's Ryo. Was there always a wall in this hallway? As Ryo responds, oh, that was probably closed just a moment ago. It's a connecting corridor to the top 6 rooms, right? It's a barrier to keep us separated from the other members during the aptitude test. With Bachira saying, whoa, I see, as both Bado and Nico try to run after Bachira saying, catch them, go for it, Purplehead. As we then see Bachira jump off the wall into a vent saying, red light, green light, ha, and as he starts laughing. As Bado, Zantetsu, Nico, and Kyoto Jin ask, damn, he got away. Oh, don't aha me, let's find him. Where's this thing going? As Nico responds saying more, next time you see him, catch him, Ryo. We need to get our card back. What in the actual hell is Bachira even doing? Dude is literally Spider-Man. This page is damn near unreadable, but from what I can see, it's basically Ryo asking about the card and what Ego had to say about it. In this page, he's wondering which team he wants to choose, whether it's one with Nagi or somebody else entirely. I just can't read it because it's too damn blurry and that's not the entire page. We then cut to Nagi in the room of the top 6, with both him and Yukimiya working together. With Nagi saying, man, I'm lightning fast on my feet. Not sure if he was referring to Yukimiya here, but maybe not. Yukimiya saying, whew, I'll wrap up today's training right here. Followed by him saying, can't have any fatigue lingering for tomorrow's big show, and dealing with those two is exhausting. As we see both Karasu and Otoya doing their own thing. With Otoya saying, did you call me? It's Yuki. Followed by Karasu saying, honestly, talking to you is exhausting, you delicate glasses wearer. With Yukimiya responding, you've got such a lighthearted vibe, you know? When I'm with you all, my own feelings start to seem so ridiculous. Basically pop shots to one another that don't even seem like pop shots. Karasu saying, well, I guess that's just the level of your ego. Don't pretend to see someone else resolve, you fool. With Otoya saying, to me, light is the highest compliment. Fluffy and fun is the ultimate dream. With Yukimiya responding, that's exactly it. We just don't vibe. Followed by Karasu saying, that kind of stuff weighs heavy, you know? As both Yukimiya and Karasu are basically chopping it up, throwing more pop shots at each other, with Yukimiya saying, well, I'm not really looking to start a fight or anything. I'm an adult and I believe in peaceful resolutions. With Karasu saying, same here, not bothered at all. Honestly, I couldn't care less about their lives. As Nagi's in the back, not knowing what to think. With Nagi thinking to himself, yep, it's definitely the top 6, just a bunch of egotistical folks, huh? With Otoya tapping Nagi on the shoulder, asking, catch you later. Hey, I'm gonna take off first, Nagi. When it comes to our little competitions, I always come out on top. And then, out of absolutely nowhere, Rin thundercunts an entire soccer ball. As Nagi asks, hey, pull it back. How about a little one-on-one match with me? As Rin responds with, huh? And this genuinely pisses off Rin as he says, I'm not interested in you, you pale one. Go worship at the altar of Kiyoshi's poop. With Nagi thinking to himself, after all, I'm thinking about, am I not even a blip on your radar? Followed by him saying, that guy, Andreen, too. Wondering who that other guy he is speaking of is. That other guy, I'm thinking being Isagi? I don't know who this is, unless it's Rin, I'm not sure. With Nagi responding, shining in the brilliance of Kiyoshi. Kiyoshi has already, even the great Seijuro Shin can be transformed by this. Who the hell these people are, I don't know. With Nagi's ego coming out and him saying, I want to take you down. With more words down here that I can't read because I don't know what this says. But it looks badass, even though it's pixelated. We then cut to somebody watching different screens trying to study the game, with the narrator saying once again he bumped into Isagi, this individual happening to be Isagi. We then notice that he notices both Nagi and I believe Rin, unless himself, I'm not sure, and for some reason Isagi's pissed off. Reo behind him surprising Isagi saying, same here buddy, with Isagi saying Reo, followed by Reo saying, you're caught in a dilemma, huh? Which team to join? With Isagi responding, huh? Oh, aren't you the one who's all about Team Nagi? With Reo responding, I don't want to hear that from the one who tore me and Nagi apart. Isagi realizing, saying, oh, I'm sorry. Reo then responds by saying, choosing Nagi's team to play soccer together. I was all set to do that, but now I'm just all mixed up. With Isagi responding, why? Followed by Reo saying, yeah, well, during the second selection, Nagi picked you, right? I came all this way thinking I'd show them what I'm made of. But seeing Nagi rise to the top 6 is just overwhelming. When I calmly compare myself to my current level, I can't shake the feeling that Nagi is becoming more and more out of reach. I don't have the confidence to stand side by side and battle. But if I let this moment slip away, I have this nagging feeling there won't be another chance. But if I show the flawed side of me again, I feel like Nagi might drift away even further. What should I even do? I'm completely lost. As Reo starts to think to himself, saying, I'm blabbering too much when it comes to Kiyoshi. This guy doesn't know my pain. I don't really need you to understand. It's not that it has to be this way. As Isagi says, I feel the same way, Reo. And this takes Reo by surprise. With Isagi then continuing by saying, to me, it's all about because Rin is like that. With Reo thinking to himself, is Kiyoshi the same? But yeah, that's true. I might become someone that's just out of reach. I don't want to live with that regret. Isagi then chooses Team A with both Shido and Rin. Isagi then coming to the conclusion saying, got it, Reo, I really appreciate it. With Reo's inner thoughts saying, who knew you could be so bold? You're so straightforward. You're really a good guy. With Isagi continuing saying, thanks to you, I've made up my mind. I'll walk the path I've chosen. I'll prove that I'm not wrong. With Reo saying, if only the way we had met had been different. Maybe we could have understood each other better. Whether he's referring to Isagi or Nagi, I have no idea. I want to say it's Nagi, because that would make sense. As Isagi then gets up and walks out of the room, with Reo saying, oh, well, see you tomorrow. With Isagi saying, back to the battlefield. With Reo's internal thoughts saying, so, back to the battlefield. And this enlightens Reo more than you know. As he says, it's almost ridiculously refreshing. All that's on Kiyose's mind is soccer, huh? The reason Nagi captivates me is I think I'm finally starting to understand little by little. Feel my heart. It feels so light. I feel like I really want to fight next to Nagi. As we cut back to Henri losing her godforsaken mind saying, oh my goodness, what should I do? What should I do? Where did you go, honey boy? As Bachira has gone missing and Henri cannot find him. And Ego has had enough and just straight up left. And Bachira at this point is literally climbing through the vents in his underwear. As Bato manages to catch him and hits him in the vent with a broom. With Bato asking, is it here, you little punk? As Zantetsu says, oh, found you. As Bachira again manages to get away from both of them, swinging his way out of the vent onto the floor, saying, catch me if you can. With Henri saying, right there, path blocked, as she manages to block off Bachira's path. With Bachira saying, but I can always go this way. Hey, wait up. As Henri is still losing it, saying, seriously, which way? This way? As Henri keeps screwing up left and right, putting down the different doors. And I will continue this chapter in the next video. This is a very long chapter. Bear with me.